Hello everyone, VegasVic1965, and in this week's tutorial, actually mini tutorial showcase, it is what you see behind me. It's not just a gold farm. This farm encompasses an all-in-one gold farm, XP farm, emerald farm, and of course cooked meat, all wrapped into one. So without further ado, let's find out. Okay, welcome back everyone, VegasVic1965, and first and foremost, let me get a few of the technical aspects out of the way for this farm. First and foremost, this is not, don't have to worry about the mob cap, because this is not affected at all by the mob cap. You could have 100 people in the game, or you could have one person in the game. It's not going to affect the rates pretty much. And if you're looking for the exact numbers, I cannot give them to you because it really depends on whether you have this in manual mode or auto mode, because I have it set up for both. But needless to say, this produces a ton of gold, a ton of pork chops, chicken meat, cooked chicken meat, ingots, and of course emeralds, which you'll see down below, and I'll show you how I've got that done. But technically we're looking at two giant portals here that are 23 by 23, and I'm going to list that here in a moment. You'll see on the screen the actual dimensions, and they are side by side, all in one great big giant cube. Technically speaking, on the Java side of things, these zombie piglins will actually go after these turtle eggs to try to stomp them from up to 23 blocks away. I have glass blocks on the back too high so they don't wander in that direction. So when they do wander within that, within 2 seconds, they will start making their way towards those turtle eggs. I have this platform, as you see, 5 wide. So I have a center column here, and I have eggs strewn all across this, but you don't need to have 20 eggs like I have here. You can scatter them and scatter like 10 eggs through there. As long as they can see them or sense that they're there, they're going to go after them. I just happen to use them all. There's an empty space on the end. I'll show that in a few minutes. For the bedrock side, according to the information I have, this will not work for you. Your portals can be no longer than, let's say, 10 or 12 wide, because they will note these turtle eggs from up to 10 blocks away. So just remember, you bedrock players that are going to build something of this size, that you're probably going to need to build more further back, and you can continue this same idea and same concept and just continue the water streams a little higher and raise this up another 2 blocks and go back even further. But as you can see here, the drop zone I have, there's 8 blocks of glass that I have here. It goes up 1 block, goes back 7, up 1 block again, and back another 7. We're going to go take a look at that. On the back wall, I've put a set of glass blocks, so really there will be 8 there, but 7 here. Because once you drop your water source on this first block, it'll travel 8 blocks. But since it's only 7, it's going to continue down and continue another 8. But again, we've dropped it down again, so 1 water source will take it all the way to the end. Now you can build this to where it comes into a single drop zone if you want. I just want to have as many as I can without using vines or ladders in the end, and you'll see when we get down there. So you'll notice on that second block up, this is the from the back of the water stream. Second block up is where I start the portals, and I go 23 blocks across and 23 blocks back. Again, you take a look at that picture that I posted up. Pause if you need to. It's very, very simple. And on the inside, while you're building that, you're going to want to probably put up some torches. And the main reason for that the torches are to keep any other mobs spawning while you're working. Last thing you want is a creeper to kill you while you're in there. They're not going to break the bedrock, but they can kill you or knock you off. So again, one great big giant cube on one side and the other, all 23. And on the inside, it's 21 by 21. That is the maximum size you can build. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, 2 important things before we move on. You'll notice that I have trapdoors, and they are on both the inside and outside. So make sure that you put those trapdoors. They will consider it a full block, walk right off of there after the turtle eggs. Second important fact is, if you decide not to go with a total amount of turtle eggs on every single block through there, make sure that you put down a button or some block that they cannot spawn, that other mobs cannot spawn on, so you don't lose your turtle eggs. And if you notice, I have the iron trapdoors along with these fences set up here, and the reason for that is if I'm coming up here and I get a whole group of them, I can actually walk away and back away, and you'll see that the experience happens to stay up there with the fences, the combination of the fences and the iron trapdoors on top, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Now those are the experience orbs are going to stay right there until I pick a tool that I want to use. Just make sure that anything that has mending on it that does not to be repaired is taken out of those slots. The only thing I'm going to repair here is going to be the pickaxe, as you can see, and boom, it's already repaired. Okay, next up is the drop chute. Now I have them dropping from height of 105. The height is totally up to you. You don't have to pick the same heights. But the drop, you want to make sure they're dropping at least 21 or 22 blocks. At 23 blocks, that's supposed to take all 10 of their hearts, which they have 10 hearts, just like skeletons and zombies. And you'll notice if I target this block right here, you'll see that the hopper, if I left it blank, they'd end up on number 83 on the far right where my targeted block is. But I have an iron trapdoor, so they're landing on 84. That's a 21 block drop. That's for auto. For manual, flip this switch. Those sticky pistons in the back will then bring these guys down to about a heart and a half, or I'm sorry, a half a heart to a heart, and I'll wait till I gather up quite a bit, and then I will kill them. Once they're killed, you'll notice the drops will stay up there, but if you wanted to get the drops down when you're ready, there you go. All the drops go into the hoppers below. I have hoppers on the back just in case anything does get stuck. Now this simple little thing here, redstone here, because I don't do a whole lot of redstone, is just a matter of a lever on the end, and you have sticky pistons in the back with iron trapdoors that you saw stuck to those sticky pistons. Turning that off, turning it to manual auto kill, they'll all just drop to their deaths at level 27. Now, again, it doesn't have to be 27 levels down. The reason I did mine is because right down here you'll see that we do get chicken jockeys, the baby zombified piglins, will actually land safely down here, but not when I come in to kill them. And they're after me. So again, the drop chute, you want to make sure that you're dropping them about 21, 22 blocks if you want to do the manual kill. And the auto kill, just flip the switch and they'll all drop down. If they don't, we can always help them. That's the first. I haven't seen that. And of course the items will just drop down into the hoppers below. Anything that gets stuck will end up over there. And I see a gold nugget got stuck there. Next, I wanted to talk about how you're going to have this set up. Now, I have it set up to where if there were hoppers here, if I wanted to, so I have my chest running. I have a chest here that I can actually offload things that I've actually picked up while I'm attacking these guys. And so let's go down and take a look and see where all this is going. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail of how I did the sorting system. You can see that I have a combination sorting system here ready to go. All the items come down, and what's really important is you've probably seen a lot of chests that are loaded with hoppers, and they run the hoppers right along the side. That's great if you're just filling up those hoppers, but we want this sorted. So I alternate my chests and my hoppers as such. I put a hopper on top of it. I put a double chest on top. I got a hopper below that going into another chest. This way, each individual chest does not get filled up. It just constantly cycles through and filters all the way down. Let me get that experience. Ooh, yummy. Ouch. So it goes. This stuff goes into the sorting system. The way I have this set up, and I'll show you. The first one I have is set up for my gold nuggets. The second one is for iron ingots, or excuse me, gold ingots. The third one is for rotten flesh, and the last one is for feathers, which you will definitely get from those chicken jockeys. Everything else is going into a little furnace array that I have set up as a combination. And what it's going to cook is the chicken and all the swords, any gear that you happen to put in there, including any of the stuff that you need to have cooked. That's where you want, and you don't want that sorted out. You want it to go right to there. And below that, I have it set up to turn it on whenever I need to. It'll fire up those furnaces and start cooking everything, as you can see. We'll go down and take a look at the next step. Here at the bottom, you see everything sorted into these chests. Doing pretty decent. And over here, where the furnace array is set up, all the chicken, I even have cooked pork chops, and of course the swords, and then of course the buckets, which I use lava. You can use whatever fuel source you want. and then I just make a trip back to the nether. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, the next part, you'll notice I have a bunch of clerics located in here. I have 13. I could have done more, but I put 4 on each side. Now, why have I done that? Because there is a lot of rotten meat, as you can see in here, rotten flesh. Now, a lot of YouTubers will just set just a dropper where it ends up going into lava, and you're losing all that. That is very, very inefficient. What I've done here is I've used my zombie villager conversion video that I have put out a couple weeks ago, and I converted these guys about 5 times. Now they'll drop down to 8 and eventually settle at 12. You can do this yourself if you want to. Maybe another conversion would keep it at 8. I'm not quite sure. I haven't done that yet, but 12 is good enough for me. Like I said, I have 13 of them, and what I'll do is when 8 o'clock in the morning hits, or I'm sorry, yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning hits, and these guys are ready to start restocking their trades, then I'll go ahead and sell off the meat. I'll just work my way around and come back around, so when they do reset their trades again for the second time, or as in 1.16.1 if you're playing that version, they sometimes can restock 3 times, which if you're really lucky, and then sell off your meat to end up getting all these emeralds. And the lower you get their prices, of course, the more emeralds you're going to get. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, for the last part, if you're deciding on building something like this, you're wondering, where do I start? Well, I would suggest starting down here first on whatever floor you plan on wanting to work with. If you're going to do villagers like I did to get the emeralds and everything else, including the furnace array, you want to build all this stuff down here first and work your way up. And this height really depends on how many chests you are willing to set up. Now you'll see here I have, I think, about 6 chests just in case I go AFK for a very long time. And of course the furnace arrays are going to depend, the height of the furnace arrays are really going to depend on how far up that you have the your storage area. So you can see ours here, the chests just keep going up until I'm ready to stop. Just make sure give yourself enough room so you can get in here if need be, because when you kill these guys, you're going to end up getting some of the items as you kill them. It's going to pop right off into your inventory. You come right over here and make sure you give yourself some space to drop them in there, and that will go into the sorting system. And then from there, once you got your height for your sorting system and your storage area and the villagers, you then want to figure out your height for the killing area. Once you build the killing area, you want to make sure that you're going to go up a certain number of glass blocks. And my strong suggestion is, if you're on Java, is to take a look at your targeted block. Once you set this iron trapdoor down on top of the hopper, you want to look at that targeted block. As you can see to the right, targeted block, so the center Y level shows 84. You want to make sure that you're going to go up at least 21 or 22 blocks for that drop off, or the water's at and they drop off. That leaves them with about a half a heart to a heart left to kill. The other chamber below is just a few blocks below, and there's really no set level for that you might want that one, other than it just needs to match up with your hopper chain and chest chain that you have set up here. And you notice I have it set up going into this one here, so it ends up dropping off for the auto part of it right into this here. So remember, if you're going to build your sorter, that item that goes around the hoppers that go around to your furnace array, you want to make sure that the kill area for the auto is also running into that, so it actually works right all the way through there. One of the last things I wanted to mention was on the very top of this, you want to make sure that you do put buttons up there. Let's go up and take a quick look. Okay, as we're working our way over to this, you're probably wondering, where am I going to get all of that obsidian? Well, my suggestion would be, probably the best place would be at the end if you can. The end has those obsidian towers once the dragon's been defeated, and you can get a ton of obsidian from just like a tower and a half. If you have not defeated the end, or you can't get to the end, then your next bet is obviously going to be the long way, and that's to find lava lakes somewhere in here in the overworld that you can drop some water on for safety, so you can go ahead and mine that obsidian. Oh, okay, as you can see, I have placed buttons all along the top here, and that's to prevent any other mob spawns from happening up here and getting into the system, because there is a chance they can drop off on there and mess something up, like land on top of those turtle eggs. So you can see the turtle eggs at the top. I didn't get that last spot, so what I did was I put a button there. And again, I mentioned that earlier, if you're not going to use 20 eggs like I have here, then you're going to want to fill in the rest, the blank spaces, with buttons, so you don't get any mobs that spawn on there. And if you take a look back over here, you will see where I put those 2 glass blocks I mentioned to you before. So in case any zombie pigmen happen to work their way towards this side of the portal, they'll actually not be able to. They'll work their way back, find those turtle eggs, and work their way down into the system. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button. If you would like to subscribe for future videos from my channel, click the subscribe button. This is coming at you from the Adults Craft Adults Play Java server. A number of great people that we have here, and Season 2 is due to start up pretty soon. So, until next video and next week, we'll see you then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.